Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons. My name is Pascal Atuma, and to my left,
Timi Carter.
VDD.
Ola George.
Ola George. Welcome to the House of Commons.
Welcome to the House of Commons.
Chop, chop, chop. Okay.
Ooh, perfect.
Our topic today, I received a mail from one of our fans on Facebook, and she went straight to the point. So, Pascal, why can't you guys talk about some more serious issues, or you guys are afraid to talk about some more serious issues like lesbianism, gay rights, talk about abortion, talk about the killings happening in the United States of America. But she said that the one that's so dear to her heart is abortion, but she doesn't want me to mention her name. So here to let you know that we listen to what you guys say. Today, our topic is going to be abortion.
Wow.
What do our panel think about abortion? How do you feel about abortion?
Okay.
What is abortion, actually? So, before we start, I'm going to ask you, Miss Ola, please can you read from the dictionary what abortion means?
Sure.
This is a very interesting topic.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. So you can see we're not afraid to go there. We're going to go there now live.
We're going there.
We're going there right now.
We're going there.
All right.
This is the House of Commons. We talk about everything. We're not scared of nothing.
Yep.
So definition here for abortion is the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. Abortion.
Okay. Okay, can you read it one more time?
Sure. Abortion, the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy.
The deliberate termination of human pregnancy, most likely performed within the first 28 weeks of pregnancy.
That is correct.
All right, I'm going to go straight to you, Tim. Tim, what do you think about abortion? How do you feel about abortion?
I definitely understand that this topic is a very delicate topic. I'm definitely going to put it out. It's a very sensitive, delicate topic. But everything we see here it's because we've all had different experiences, and that's why we've arrived to this conclusion. So people, please, the viewers, don't take it too personal. Try and understand where each person is coming from. I believe there's sense in everything, in every way everybody's going to approach it.
You don't have to apologize, go.
No, I'm not apologizing. I'm telling you because I had a conversation with a co-worker.
It's a precursor to where it's going.
I had a conversation with a co-worker earlier on, and it got heated on because the topic in general is very sensitive, so you have to know how to approach it.
Absolutely.
My perception of abortion in general is I think there's an option. Abortion should be an option. If two people come together and they believe this is not the right time for us to have this baby, we don't have what it takes to raise this baby, we don't have the resources to give this baby time and place is not, this is not the right time for us. I think it's an option. That is where I stand with abortion.
So that means you support abortion?
I think I'm for abortion. I don't think it should be abused, but I think it's an option.
Okay, good. Let's go with you, Val.
Wow.
What do you think about abortion? Do you support abortion, and how do you feel about abortion?
Abortion, like you just said it, like is a very sensitive topic. But to me personally, I think you should have an option. You should have options, but it depends on. I'm pro-life, by the way. I mean, I'm pro-life, but if you get into certain situations where you know that it could be rape, it could be you having a baby that is not that's not genetically okay. Like there's some issues, like when this baby come out, and if you're gonna raise that kid, it's gonna take you a lot to raise that kid. That's an option there for you to do it. There's so many dimensions when you look at abortion. I mean, but my own personal opinion, there should be an option to it if you have to do it. But if your kid is fine, there's no problem with the baby and everything. I mean, hey, keep the baby, raise the baby. That baby can grow up to become something, unique in life, something great, someone great in life. But if you have medical issues with that kid, or that kid is conceived as a result of unforeseen circumstances, I know mistakes happen, but if it's not rape, if it's not medical issues with the baby, I'm skeptical about it.
Okay, so now, Val, you said you are pro-life.
I'm pro-life. Yeah.
Then now you say that if
pro-life with certain conditions. Let me clarify.
Okay,
pro-life with certain conditions.
Yeah, because clarify it, please.
Because if it's a rape, right? That woman would see that child as a result of it's a lived experience, right? That's something that that woman will see every day. That child is a reminder of that experience that she's gone through. So there may be some resentment towards that child. You don't want to bring up a child in a home where that child is being resented, you know.
Okay, so you are pro-life.
A pro-life with certain conditions.
With certain conditions.
Right.
So that means if the question goes this way, Valentine, do you support abortion? Yes or no? What would be your answer?
No, with certain conditions.
My man.
No, with certain conditions.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So as Timi was talking about a little bit earlier, it is definitely a sensitive topic, and it's a topic that globally it raises so much issues, you know, and whether people are forced to not have them because the country they live in doesn't support it, or if they live in a country that does have the option, but the family dynamic may not be for it. So for myself personally, I think in life we've been giving an opportunity to live in this life, and in this life we make choices every day. I think abortion is one of those choices. I don't think that it should be used haphazardly, and I don't think people should just be using it as a form of birth control, but I feel like it is an option that's on the table when the situation does deem, when an adult makes a decision like this, or sometimes children. Once you have your menstrual cycle as a female, you can get pregnant anywhere from there. So whether it be a young person or an older person, but I would say use it only in the last resort, not as your first resort, which I find a lot of the pushback sometimes people are using it as, instead of using contraceptives, they're using a birth control as their backup because they got pregnant. So I think abortion is an option.
Very smart.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you two questions.
Mr. Pascal, what do you think about abortion?
Hold on,
We can't skip it.
I know.
Inquiring mind wants to know.
All right. So the question goes again, do you support abortion, yes or no?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. Now you said something about the last option and the initial option.
Correct.
But what, I don't know, I didn't understand that.
So for me, the topic of abortion is this. So for example, there are some people, once they've hit an age that they decide that they no longer, you know, they're virgins in life, you know, and the best option to me is just being abstinent. For me, that's the first go-to as a young woman, a young man.
So that's what you mean by initial option?
So, no, that's not what I mean. I'm going to kind of start there.
Okay.
So then, for example, once somebody becomes, hopefully, a consenting adult and starts, you know, having sex or having relationships with other people, as soon as that starts, they need to have a conversation. Hopefully their parents are having this conversation with them regarding what form of birth control are they going to be using. Are they going to be using condoms? Are they going to be using a needle? Are they going to be getting a patch? And then of course, even if you have the patch on things, you should still use a condom on top of that. The problem is when some, like women specifically, don't use a patch, don't use any form of contraceptives, nothing, no condom, no nothing, and then all of a sudden she gets pregnant. Unless you're using the withdrawal method, what was going to potentially happen eventually if you're having sex and you're having sex with, even if it's one individual partner, and you know, we all know what it takes to make a baby here, right? So if there's no pill being taken or nothing like that, the odds are she's most likely going to get pregnant if it's a certain time of the month, right? So that's what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about the people that, for example, that are not using any form of birth control and a condom as well. Okay,
so that's what you mean by the initial plan not being used.
Correct. So you have to have a plan, because if we want to be adults about things, then an adult move is to have some type of birth control or contraceptive that you're using for having sex. If you don't, then the odds are very high you're going to get pregnant. And then all of a sudden now you're like, it's an accident, oops. But it's kind of like a thought that you should have had way back. Unfortunately, you're now at the point, you're now, if you're not in a relation, or even if you're in a marriage, sometimes people decide that in the marriage it's not the time that they would like to have a child, or whatever the illness, whatever sickness is going on, or whatever is going on. But that's what I mean by initial. Initial means that that's your only form of birth control, and you're not looking
that
to
means
get
if
pregnant.
you didn't do it, then your last option now is abortion.
Correct. So what I'm saying is, if you started off, like, if you know you're not at the point where you're not looking to have to raise a family yet, then some type of contraceptive should be used.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So I know you guys are waiting for my own.
Of course.
Can't wait.
Pascal Atuma, do you support abortion? I'm going to answer you in two ways. One, because of my Christian background and because of my Christian beliefs, the answer will be capital no. I said I'm going to answer in two ways. Right?
Why two ways?
Capital no, because the Bible says, thou shalt not kill. Is it not in the Bible? Now, Val, you said in the case of rape, or in the case of any biological problem, right? But let me tell you something. Everything, speaking from a Christian point of view, right, is designed by God.
I'm going to answer you though.
Okay,
Yes, go ahead. I want you to make a point.
So I 100% do not support abortion.
Okay.
100%. There's no reason, there's no excuses, there's no circumstances that I will support abortion. Pure ED, that's my take.
Okay.
That's your take.
Yes.
And you believe that everything, you're going to a religious aspect of it, like everything.
I can only answer.
So my point is,
that's why you need to submit to a very.
It's right. I'm gonna ask you a question. You just said something. Like God allows everything to happen. So you mean to tell me now that if a woman gets raped, God allows that to happen?
It's an accident.
Okay.
It's a very negative accident. God does not support rape. The Bible does not support rape.
So
nobody should be raped. But if you get pregnant via rape, I don't think that's good excuse enough for you to kill a human being. Because the person once you're pregnant, that's a human being in there. That's a heartbeat.
It's a heartbeat?
Right?
Okay.
It's a heartbeat. Now let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Since you want to take it that angle, if you get involved in an accident now, and they take you to the hospital, and you go to the hospital and the doctor says, not you, not just speaking, you're not going to get in an accident, bro. Right? Then the doctor says, your leg is going to be amputated. What will you do, Val?
If that's the way to save my life, let it go.
Let it go, right?
Yeah.
If that's the way to save your life, let it go.
Yeah.
Now, then you get raped and you get pregnant, right? And your option is to terminate the pregnancy. Why didn't you tell your doctor in the hospital that, no, I want my leg back? Or command God, or command yourself, since you have the power to make the decision that your leg must come back. Why don't you make the decision that my leg must come back?
I think
nobody's amputating my leg. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
No,
I get it, but I want to see how you approach it.
Yeah, I think that analogy is kind of like on a two different angle. You cannot. We're talking about.
Why is it a two different angle?
Okay.
Hold on. What is a car accident? When you get involved in a car wreck, what is that called?
You have an accident.
You have an accident.
Right.
When someone rapes you, what is that called?
I don't think that's an accident.
I don't think that's an accident.
That's not an accident.
No, it's not an accident on the person that committed the rape.
No.
But on your side.
That's a deliberate. That's a deliberate.
No.
Hold on.
I
don't get what you're saying.
No, on the victim side, it's an unfortunate thing that happened.
Okay, unfortunately. So now, I'm the perpetrator. If I rape someone, is an accident? Did I rape that person?
On your side, on the person that committed the rape, it's not an accident, it's a deliberate action. But on the person that you did it to,
it's an accident.
It's an accident. It's a very negative.
It was not planned. It was something that was not planned.
Well,
hold on. An unfortunate situation that happened that was not planned.
Maybe it could be framed differently. Maybe the viewers can help us through the comment and explain frame it differently. But right now, what I'm saying is this: it's a situation that you did not plan for that happened to you.
Something happened to you. Okay, that's an accident. Something that happened. Something that happened to you that you did not plan for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So now, if they raped you, they committed offense by raping you, but getting pregnant.
No, don't say they raped. That was
No. Hold on. I'm being real, right? But getting pregnant is an accident that happened via rape. Am I lying?
Yes. Okay.
So now that's where I'm coming from.
So that's where that's
where I'm coming from.
Okay,
So
now my
if in
point
that situation you cannot control it, please don't kill nobody because you got raped and got pregnant.
Listen, okay.
Can I say something? I just want to be clear, man. Just to clarify something. I don't know too much about abortion. I've never been in that kind of situation, but
Can you get pregnant?
what if it happened? I mean, I could be part of an abortion procedure, with like dealing with a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, I could be part of it.
Okay.
What if the baby is like literally like there's like really nothing there, like it just happened, like it's not even developed into like a fetus. I believe there's like stages.
Okay, yeah.
What if you play it like just at the beginning point? Are you really killing somebody?
Hold on.
Well,
that's the controversy that has been.
Hold on.
Let me.
Can I ask a question?
I feel like we need to address
While Val is saying what he wants to say, can you find from the dictionary what conception means?
Conception.
I can help you with that.
Okay, please help us with
I can help you with
that.
that. So conception basically is from the time when the sperm, right, fertilizes the egg, right, the ova, and then implantation happens, right? I'll just use the word womb, right? Right. So that's conception. So once that fertilization has occurred, there's conception, right? There's the formation of the gamete is happening. But then over time, this cellular divisions occur and then begins to grow, right? And then it moves and then implants in the womb and then baby begins to grow, right? So conception. But now, when we're talking about fetus becoming viable, being able to survive, it's not up until 26 to 28 weeks.
28 weeks.
That's when the baby is termed viable, when the baby is able to survive or live outside. So that's why they consider anything below that, below 28 weeks, like 24, 20 weeks, it's not termed viable. So if you take out that child at that time, that baby, that fetus at that time, it's still abortion.
The topic is abortion.
It's still abortion.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
It's still abortion.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
No, hold on. It's still abortion, but that baby cannot survive outside. That baby cannot leave.
So
that is not viable.
Is it a baby?
So what's
That
the
fetus
baby?
is not
But that's
viable.
another controversy. Some people say it shouldn't be referred to as a baby at that point.
It's a fetus. It's not viable. The baby cannot survive, right? Because I've had situations where there's complications in the pregnancy, and then they had to go in and take out the baby at 26 weeks, put them at 28, 29, put them in an incubator, and the baby leaves. But if you take out a baby at, like, say 20, 21 weeks, they're not gonna leave. They're not gonna survive. Except maybe there's like extremely medical technology that can happen. I don't know.
Can I come in?
I'm looking up some definitions here. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
you have some-
No. Go ahead. I want you to come in, and then I'll jump.
You just sat here in front of us,
Okay.
and you used biological and medical.
Is it not?
Yes, and you use it to I'm going to use this English rigmarole.
Okay.
Dribble.
I did not dribble anything.
Hold on, yes.
Dribble anything.
I'm being real. Dance around.
Okay.
Trying to explain that you actually try to redefine conception and creation and the formation of a baby.
You asked what's a conception.
But you understand? But your answer is like we're in a court of law. And you are trying to give us justify that if someone removes what has been conceived, right?
Right.
Inside.
Right.
Before.
Medically.
Medically.
But that's what a definition is. that's giving you the concept of, like, so you asked a specific question and he gave you a direct answer. He gave the most clear answer as that he could possibly give, which is the medical answer to say.
But his answer was not neutral. His answer was biased. Am I lying? Please support me on this one. Was not biased.
No, I feel like what he did, he literally just said, if you do it within a certain period of time,
it's okay.
It's technically not abortion. Because you are not killing a baby. If you want to look at what abortion is, you're not killing a baby.
That's what he said.
Let me just something. Abortion is so let me just say something. It is abortion, whether it be the early weeks or up to the week of 28. It's all called abortion.
That's abortion.
So,
Okay.
just to clarify that. But the thing about it is, what he's saying is just a general definition. I don't think he said his point of what he believes or what he doesn't believe. He was just saying a point of view. My thought on what you're raising here in regards to this entire topic, it's the concept is this. Is a baby the moment the sperm hits the egg? Is the baby a baby? Or is it
something
else? That right there is the...
It's a great line.
The level, that's usually where all of the court rulings and everything comes in. The fights that happens between pro-life and pro-abortion and all of these things, it's that right there. Because what happens is there's places, unfortunately, there's places that after 28 weeks, there's places that still sometimes give people abortions. Then people are like, okay, no, that's a baby. Then you shouldn't be able to do that. So then that's usually the line.
By the way, in Canada, I think it's up to if it's after 20 weeks or 21 or 22 weeks, they don't do it. You have to go to like I don't know. They probably have to go to like a special. But like in general, if it's after 22 weeks, they won't do it.
Can I say something?
Because it's unsafe. It's unsafe for the mother, and it's unsafe for the unborn fetus, the unborn baby.
Right. For me,
I want to say something.
I was looking up the definition.
Okay, hold on.
Let him come in once.
I want to say something. I feel like a lot of times when people consider abortion, the general perception is you're killing this baby. You're killing the baby in your womb. You know. But sometimes it's not really a baby yet. It's like there's something there that's supposed to grow.
It's a baby. It's a baby.
No. There's something that's supposed to grow. We eat eggs. Are we eating chickens?
I'm not. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm not in the medical field.
Timmy. When we eat eggs, are we eating chickens?
I'm not a medical professional.
It's a baby. It's a baby.
No matter how you guys try to dribble through this, no matter how you guys try to shape this to make it look good, from my own understanding, once you are pregnant,
the moment you
conceive,
right.
That's why I asked for the definition of conception.
The moment you conceive, that's a baby for me.
Once you conceive, for me, that's a baby. Okay. Anything that does not happen naturally for that baby to go out, maybe you have a miscarriage, right? Okay. Which is natural, right? You have a miscarriage or anything outside that's any technical, mechanical form, no matter what grammar you want to use, and you remove that baby, right? For me, it's abortion.
Right. So to me, it is an option for people to take. So I heard what you were saying a while ago regarding if somebody, for example, unfortunately they get raped, or there's an unfortunate situation, or there's illness, or they feel that the child, if they have the child, it may be whatever of different topics that could happen within a pregnancy. The key is this: it's choice. God has given us soul. I'm a strong believer.
Okay,
yet I'm a believer that we do have
if someone is involved in an accident and then the doctor said your legs must come off, right? Right. Which is the only way that leg is not going to work.
I understand the terminology.
Why don't you make the same choice that day? Since you're a human being, you have the right to make choices, right? So why don't you make the choice that this leg must come back?
Right. So the key is the analogy that you're using. The person, if they say that they're going to allow the leg to, the doctor says your life or the leg. The person may say, like Bob Marley, he had cancer in his toe, and he never, and unfortunately, he never cut. I believe it was his toe. That he never cut it off, and for example, unfortunately, he lost his life in relation to some type of cancer-related issue. The point of what I'm saying is that the reasoning and the rationale that you're saying in regards to if somebody's pregnant, it's a choice. Whether you cut your hair, whether you have a child, whether you go and you work out, whatever you decide to do, whether it be to remove cancer out of your body or to say, nope, I don't want blood. There's beliefs that people don't accept blood. They will rather terminate life rather than receive blood.
I like the way you said it, net life.
I'm talking about an adult. I'm talking about an adult who decides. Just 1 second. No. Pascal, I still haven't said my point. So the point hasn't landed. You know. So the point is this: if somebody is an adult decides that they don't want to accept blood, then are you going to force them? Are you going to force them to say that they have to? I think it's the Jehovah's Witness belief, I believe, that does not accept blood. They rather die than accept blood. So therefore, again, that's their choice. The key is this: in this life that we've been given, whether you choose to, you know, be the best person you be and help fulfill things and be a president and be a leader, or you choose to be a serial killer, or you choose, unfortunately, just to be somebody who's on the side of the road, whatever you've chosen, it's your choice. So at the end of the day, I can't take your choices away from you. You shouldn't take any of my choices, and I shouldn't take any of your choices away from you.
Can I ask a question? I mean, we're talking about abortion. We cannot talk about abortion without religion. Do you think religious beliefs play a huge role in abortion?
Yes.
Like people that are not
explained in my own.
It does.
People that are not really religious, they look at it from a black and white perspective. I don't want to have a child, and that's it. Boom, I'm gonna take it out. Boom, like that's it.
Okay, I have something to say, and I'm going to go back to Ola. Ola, when you were speaking about abortion, you used the term termination of life.
Correct. But actually, no. I actually used termination of life in relation to the people receiving blood and stuff.
But you didn't. Termination. Abortion is what? Termination of what?
It's termination of a pregnancy. It's termination.
What is pregnancy?
What is pregnancy? You want me to, I can go back to the.
But can you define pregnancy for us?
So pregnancy, again, when it's conception, when you conceive.
Please, I want you to find pregnancy while I explain what I'm explaining, right?
Well, so, okay.
You don't find pregnancy, I don't trust your definition.
So Val keeps speaking.
Val's definition is biased.
It's not biased. It's not biased. You don't want to hear it.
I want to really say
you don't. If you want to religious belief.
I don't trust. I don't trust you.
Hold on. This is House of Commons. Everybody's got a shot. I'm not gonna. Okay, define.
Okay,
good. Pregnancy.
Okay.
Is conception. When a man and woman meets, they conceive a baby, or they sperm fertilizing egg. Conception happens. That's pregnancy right there.
Okay.
That's pregnancy.
Okay. Is there any way you can define pregnancy with life in it?
With life in it?
Yes.
Medically, after 28 weeks,
then we have life.
Then we have life.
Okay. Please, Ola, did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay, find it. Today is today. We're going to. Okay, Ola, find it. Find it for us.
I did find it here for whatever. Okay. But again, I find these definitions are very general. This is
pregnancy.
Dictionary.com. Pregnancy, the condition or period of being pregnant. The first weeks of pregnancy.
That's not a good definition.
I trust you.
So another angle you can look at it.
Another dictionary.
So when a woman misses their period, say the week after, say I don't know how to put it. It's like, so when they miss their period, they don't see their period, and then they go for a test, and certain hormones come up and show that, like, okay, certain levels of hormones in your system, they do a blood test, they do a pee test, and it shows it's positive for pregnancy. Yeah. So that's pregnancy.
Okay, now, can I come in now?
Again, second definition.
But is that life? Give me second definition.
But it's almost similar. It's a second dictionary, but similar. The quality of being pregnant, as in meaning. The condition of being pregnant. An instance of being pregnant. It's a second dictionary.
Okay,
I just gave you what pregnancy is, but you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear what pregnancy is.
So come back to when you were asking me a question.
Now,
go ahead.
For me, abortion is termination of life growing inside a human being.
Okay.
But there's no life. Wait, hold on. There's no life at that point of conception.
If we eat egg, are we eating chicken?
When your wife is pregnant, right? Okay. If you put your hands here,
nothing inside.
Is there no movement that happens?
Well, movement starts at the stage. That's after like 28 weeks or so. You start. It's called fetal movement is not right there.
The point I'm trying to make is this.
I know.
When Ola used the word termination of life,
okay,
then I want to ask two of you a question.
I hear you.
Especially Val.
Especially Val.
An armed robber that comes in here to
hold on. Fetal movement.
That comes in,
weeks or so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm coming. That comes in here to rob now, and they go boom, boom, boom. He kills you or kills me, right? Oh, don't worry about that one. I kills you or kills me, right? What is that?
Did they take your life now?
You just terminated
a grown man's life.
If you're driving a car and you hit someone by mistake and the person dies, what did you do? You just terminated a life, right? If anything happens that you come in to do anything, like the people that just shot, that guy that just shot 17 people in the school, just terminated how many lives? 17
lives.
Anything that has to do with termination of life is the same thing with abortion.
But okay, let me clarify something.
No.
There's a difference.
It is.
There's a difference
You
between.
use the word. I didn't use the word termination.
I used the word because I was bringing up other definitions of people making choices.
Can I clarify something?
So we can go to conclusion because I think we can throw this up.
Well, we're going to throw this.
Can I clarify something?
I want you to clarify that and say something on this.
I feel like there's something we've not talked about.
There's difference between.
And I want to.
To me though, there's difference between life. There's difference between life and being pregnant at that point.
That initial stage.
That initial stage. Again, I'm going to go back to the word viability. If something cannot survive at a certain stage, right, during pregnancy, during the pregnancy period, there's no life at that point because that person cannot breathe on their own. Life is being able to breathe, live, do the things of what we do as human beings, right? That's life. So before 28 weeks, that child cannot live, cannot breathe, cannot though the sense of smells and the sense of other things are developing at that stage. But if that baby should come out, if that fetus should come out, that child is not going to survive. But if after 28 weeks, right, that child is a tendency, that child has become viable. There's a tendency that child can survive outside. Then you're talking about life. You understand? That child can breathe. That child can live with support. That child can do things that you can do, and that child can actually grow and develop. That's the qualification that you need to understand. But you're not accepting it because you're allowing religion to blindfold you right now.
Yes, exactly. Hold on. You know what you need to understand?
Okay.
Is to go back to your biological dictionary and look for the definition of fertilization.
Oh, I just told you what fertilization is.
Okay, but you know what? Okay, our viewers. Yes. Let's go. Hold on.
Pascal's mind is like once any fertilization happens, there's life in there. There's anything termination, it's an abuse. That's it.
Hold on.
He's just focused on one thing.
Can I ask you a question? Okay. Can every woman get pregnant?
No,
I'm asking you the medical. Not every woman can get pregnant, right? So if every woman cannot get pregnant, then the one that gets pregnant, you remove it, and you tell me it's not life that you removed. Answer. Look at the camera and answer. Yes.
Again, viewers out there, remember my initial point?
You see, you're biting your lips.
Condition.
You're biting your lips.
If you remove a pregnancy based on certain conditions, again, my two conditions are if you raped and if that child has a medical issue and you terminate that pregnancy, is justifiable. To me, I'm not God.
So who made you God? Who made you God? Who made you God?
It's not about being
God. Listen, God is in us. He has made, we are gods on
earth. Are we in church now?
Individual, yes. In every discussion we're going to talk, church is going to come up. In everything we talk, church will come up, or belief system, because it's an important thing that affects all of our decisions.
Yes.
Is church, religion, spirituality. It's going to affect all of our decisions.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, now speaking of that, I feel like
we have to look at it from I feel like in North America, a lot of the decisions when it comes to abortion, it's not always religious. It's always time resources. Do we have what it takes to raise a baby? A lot of people tell you, man, I got like a 9-to-5 job, I'm making $14 an hour. I don't have time to raise a baby. Like, I don't have time to have a kid. Like,
somebody had time to raise you.
But
somebody had time to raise
that's
you.
not a fact. That is what they're thinking. So a lot of time when people go to do abortions, they'll be like, yo, I have a career to chase. We'll live in a career.
If you have a career to chase, but why are you doing it?
But come on,
let me ask you guys a question.
People will have sex regardless.
Let's cut the chase. I'm going to ask this question one by one.
Okay.
Ola George, have you ever been involved in abortion before? Have you done abortion before?
No, I haven't, but I've been within the process of assisting other people or helping them prior to, during, or after.
Okay, Val, have you been involved in any business?
Never been involved with abortion. I'm pro-life.
Okay, let me go and let me rephrase the question for you.
Okay.
This is for Val. Val.
Why you attack me like this?
I'm not attacking you. You've not been neutral.
Have
you ever gotten a girl pregnant before and you decided, let's have abortion, let's get rid of this?
No.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay, my friend Timi.
Yes, my friend.
My good friend Timi.
House of Commons. House of Commons.
Okay, my good friend Timi. Let me cheer you before I ask you this question.
Pascal.
Okay.
Any question where you ask, you go answer that yourself.
Alright, this tea is still hot. Good.
Mine's is quite cool.
Alright, my good friend Timi. Have you ever gotten a girl pregnant before and advised her to go the abortion route?
No.
No.
But can I be honest with you? I think if I was to get a girl pregnant and I look at everything,
you can do it.
There's a possibility I can be like, you know what? Maybe this is not the time.
Okay, the question to me, answer is no. Now, let's go to conclusion. Can we start with you? You were talking about resources.
Yes.
Can you throw more light on the resources issue and how resources has anything to do with killing and terminating a life?
I will not go with the word killer. I think that comes a little bit too harsh. Because I want to go with his decision.
Okay, let's go with terminating a life.
I will not go with terminating a life either. I will be like, let's get rid of
Do you want us to redefine abortion?
No. I feel like
let's go.
We've done a good job, and you know, at the end of the day, is people always perceive these things. Not everybody will perceive it as terminating a life. A lot of people will look at it like, yo, it's something that is in there. It's not a baby yet, so we can clean it out and everything is back to normal. That is just the most generic way to look at it. When you want to look at it from a spiritual point of view, things start to get a little bit complicated. You start to look at it like life. Some people don't, you know, you start to look at it like when soldiers go to war, they don't see
what could be more complicated than killing somebody.
When soldiers go to war, they don't look at it as killing life. They look at it as terminating the enemy, like, or getting rid of this thing. So it's not necessarily like it's a complicated situation, but some people will always look at it like, you know, just clean it out, and tomorrow is a normal day. Everything moves on, like life goes on.
So if your father and mom cleaned you out,
that would be unfortunate. Maybe I wouldn't be here.
So what? But would you have blamed your mom?
Would I have blamed my mom? I would not know. Back to my situation of resources. I believe in North America, people are not the most religious people over here. A lot of times when people do abortion, they do abortion because of the circumstances around them. If you don't have the resources, you look at life. I don't think I have what it takes to raise a child right now. We cannot get along. We cannot get along. A lot of people have abortion. Yo, I have sex with you. I like you. I meet you. We have sex. But do we really want to like be tied to each other forever, where we have to raise this child together and all that? That is, I feel like sometimes that's why people have abortions. They don't want to.
Why are you having sex with someone you don't want to be tied together forever?
I believe you. I believe a lot of people. I believe a lot of people have had sex with people they don't even want to see the next day,
including Val.
I want to give the viewers. I want to give the viewers something. Okay. This is personal for me. In the comment section, we can have the discussion in the comment section.
Yes.
Okay.
It's resources. When you look at the circumstances around you, is it a reason for you to be like, you know what, I am not in a position to bring a child into this world right now because I don't have the resources to give them a good life. I don't have the resources to give. We all have visions of how we want to raise our kids. We all have visions of how we want to bring kids into this world.
Sure.
Some people want to have kids with a wife. Like they have been like, oh, when I have a wife, this is how I want to. Some people don't want to have kids with different mothers. Everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has their own different vision for themselves. right? So let's have this discussion in the comment section. We don't have the time to go through everything here.
Okay, now,
but there's resources and reason. When you look at the conditions around your life, when you look at the condition around the person that is pregnant for you, or a lady, when you get pregnant, when you look at the condition, you look at the man you get pregnant for. Is it a reason to be like, you know what, I don't want to have a child with this person?
Are you talking to someone?
No. I'm talking to God. That's a conclusion. Wow, let's go to your conclusion, please.
Okay, for me, I think for the fact that we cannot, it's obvious that we cannot separate religion from certain things in this world. This world is, our history is based on religious ideas and norms. But I think it's about time we need to become pragmatic and need to understand things that are happening in our everyday life, in an everyday situation, base by base. Again, for abortion, I think the most important part or aspect is the woman herself. Whoever is carrying that baby, whoever is that's about to undergo that process, that's going through that experience. In philosophy, there's something called lived experience, phenomenological experience. So if you are in that situation, I cannot tell you when or how to raise that baby. Though I'm part of it as a man, but you're the one carrying that baby. You're the one that knows, okay, you're the right man for me or not the right man for me or whatever. Things happen. Again, personally, I'm pro-life.
Pro-life with conditions.
With certain conditions. I'm so clear with my conditions.
You're with me though.
If a woman is conceived, become pregnant due to certain conditions, like harsh conditions like rape, I don't call it that, like rape, or another condition is if that child has medical conditions that's gonna need, you're gonna need a lot of resources to raise that child. Time, say someone who is who's got, like, say, just for example, Down syndrome. It takes a lot to raise a child who's got Down syndrome. You know, time, commitment, medical appointment, right? Or I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I said I gave an example.
They should be terminated.
And no. And if you go for genetic testing and you find out, like, listen, I cannot deal with this. I don't have what it takes to deal with this. Hey, it's your choice. You do what you do what you have to do. You do what you have to do. I'm not saying kill it, but you do what you feel is good for you to do. It's your experience. That's my conclusion.
All right, thank you very much. Miss Ola, please, can we go to your conclusion? Thank you.
Sure. Well, I think, of course, as you could clearly see, this is a very heated topic, but a topic because everybody has different beliefs structure, whether you are pro or you're against. The key is that it boils down to each individual person. That's my belief on it. It boils down to each individual person. If you have the choice to have an abortion and you've weighed out all the costs and you've weighed out everything and you realize for your life, within your relationship, that it's not the right time, or unfortunately for a situation where somebody is raped or any other reasoning, it's a choice at the end of the day to me. And so if somebody wants to make that choice, they're free to make it. My biggest thing is, as I said earlier, the issue to me is the abuse of using it as a form of contraceptive. So all of a sudden then somebody is now having 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple abortions. So then what do we call that then? That to me is a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic because it's like we're not being responsible people. We're not being responsible. So the key is this. So we all want to have fun. We all want to enjoy, our husband, our wife, our partner, and have sex. So therefore, let's do it. Protect ourselves if we're not looking to bring a child into the world at this time, so that you don't have to deal with this topic of abortion. But if it is a topic that if it's a situation that comes up and you have to deal with it, then assess it with your family, with your loved ones, and make that decision for yourself.
And safety too.
Okay.
Safety.
Sure.
I think safety is very important.
Okay, so it's my own conclusion.
Your conclusion.
Okay, my conclusion is this: there's no reason to kill someone. There's no reason.
Mr. Pascal says kill someone.
Yeah.
Mr. Pascal.
There's no reason
Okay.
to terminate a life.
Okay.
There's no reason to terminate any human being, because once fertilization occurs,
That's a life right there.
That's conception, right?
Yeah.
That's a life. From my own point of view, from my religious background, from my upbringing, that's a life right there. And there's no reason for you to terminate it. If you talk about resources, for those that live in the US and Canada, there's pro-life groups there's resources out there for you to access. Get the baby. If you don't want the baby, that's adoption options. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if there's adoption options, there's pro-life groups that are willing to sponsor. If you go to the doctors, they will tell you, it's open there. So use it. Don't give me any excuse to kill someone, terminate a life, and come here and tell me that abortion is bullshit.
It ain't bullshit.
House of Commons.
It's choice.
I will say something.
Hold on, before we go, Timi, please, if they want to reach you and talk about how many people you have terminated their life.
Can I say something? Above all, above everything, whether you want to do abortion or not, people will do abortion regardless.
Okay.
Whether you want to do, the most important thing is safety. Please, whatever you do it safe.
All right, so Timi, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying about safety and all that. Very important, very important. Good. So please, how do they reach you?
Timi Carter on Instagram, Timi Carter, Twitter, Timi Carter.
Okay, for Kill Safely, Timi Carter on Instagram, Timi Carter on Twitter. Alright, please,
I don't send you work.
How do they reach you, Val?
For me, it's just VD Deval, man. VD Deval.
VD Deval on Twitter.
On Instagram. I don't have no other social media.
I like the way you're so smooth with him and VD Deval.
Okay, please, Ola George, how do they reach you?
So Ola George _ OLAGEORGE _ Instagram, Facebook.
Ooh, sounds like you're rapping right there. Oh yeah,
For me, you don't reach me through for me never. Alright, for me, you can reach me at Pascal Atuma Instagram, Pascal Atuma Twitter, Pascal Atuma Facebook. Send us those messages. Comment,
Please.
and tell us how you feel, right? Comment, let's see, and for your friends who don't follow us, subscribe to the channel, and let's build the channel so that you can see we're doing this for free for you guys. We never ask you for a dime, so subscribe. So let's see if companies can come in and let's take this.
And if you have topics you want us to talk about, like this topic was picked by one of our viewers, and we addressed it today. So always feel free to share your topics with us.
So we can send messages to them privately on Instagram or Twitter, but or comment or send to me. We are open.
We have abortion specialists.
No.
All of you guys are
Listen, pro-life